Welcome to the Week 8 edition of our Prep Football Video Preview. I'm Gaston Gazette Sports Editor Gabe Wisnett, joined by Richard Walker and Phil Gardner. We've got our fancy new backdrops behind us this week, and I'm sure you'll be seeing those on Gazette videos in the future as we move into the fall and then to the other topics we'll discuss. We'll start off this week talking about the Hunter-Hus-Kings Mountain matchup in the Big South Conference. Obviously, both of those teams looking to continue some momentum and to get things going in the league. Phil, talk about that matchup a little bit. You know a little bit about those teams.
It's a big game all of a sudden. Huss has been playing very well. I was particularly impressed with their offense last week against a very good South Point defense. Marshall Williams just continued to do his thing as the quarterback for Hunter-Hus. I think Kings Mountain, their defense has struggled at times this year. I think they could really have their hands full if Marshall Williams can get going again. But Kings Mountain returning home for the first time after 4 weeks on the road, so I look to see them play a little bit better.
And switching leagues, Richard, East Gaston has I think a pretty important matchup with Charlotte Catholic as far as the Mega 7 goes. Going on the road to play a perennial powerhouse that's only sitting at 3-4. East Gaston now sitting at 4-3. What do you make of that matchup?
Well, it's East Gaston's first chance to really kind of see where they rate in that conference, because clearly Harding and Garinger, while they are conference rivals, didn't give East Gaston a gauge of where they are going to be in the top shelf of that league, and it looks like it's turning into a three-team league. East Gaston currently unbeaten, Olympic also unbeaten with one conference game, and Catholic. But it's a chance for East Gaston to kind of see where they are, and I would argue, from having seen them early in the year and where they are now, you could make the case that they have improved as much as anybody in our area, because I saw their first game against Hunter-Hus early in the year, and they had some guys that had not gotten into practice reps and they were ineligible to play because they hadn't practiced enough, and now they're whole and really seem to be kind of humming and doing real well in their conference play. And this is a big test for them, because Charlotte Catholic's been in state championship games as recently as I believe 2 years ago. So certainly one of the elite teams in our area.
And switching over to the Southern Piedmont Conference, which opens its conference play this week, Bessemer City, East Lincoln, the marquee matchup going into the first week. Phil, what's it going to take for, we'll break this down a little bit, best on the East Lincoln side to win this game at home?
I think it's fairly simple for East Lincoln. Don't turn the ball over. When I saw them in East Gaston, they should not have lost that game, but they did, because they turned the ball over 3 straight possessions, including 2 fumbles on the first play of back-to-back possessions. So I think East Lincoln just takes care of business, handles the football. I think they're going to be the favorite in this game, because Preston Perry, Josh Wilson, those guys are just on a roll right now.
And Richard, on the Bessemer City side, what's it going to take for them to try to go in there and get this win on the road?
Well, it's a big win, big chance for Bessemer City to get a win against East Lincoln. Certainly, as you look at that league, it's conference opener week, but Bessemer City, East Lincoln, and Lincoln, I think we all kind of would agree, have separated themselves from the other 3 teams in that league, and Bessemer City has done it defensively. This is one of those classic cases of a really good defense. Bessemer City's defense, Reggie Williams and some other guys, Robbie Gehring, have done really well this year for them. But Bessemer City, if their X-man, Xavier Logan, he'll be the X factor for them in this game. I kind of feel like Bessemer's going to need to get into the 20s and maybe even to the 30s to hold off East Lincoln, because as we've noticed since Mike Bias has been the coach up there, they have found a way through personnel groupings and the talent and the way that they've been coached to get offensive production. And I think Bessemer City will have a hard time holding them down defensively. If Bessemer City can win this game, you're looking at a chance for them to win their conference. And I think the fact that they're a 1A school, they've got a real good chance to go far in the playoffs, because they're in a real challenging conference, 1A, 2A combination. I think once they get in the 1A bracket, they'll do really well in the playoff situation.
That'll wrap it up for this week. We'll see you back next week for more Prep Football Video.